An American Airlines flight is suddenly hijacked. When the air marshal on board tries to stop the hijacker, he finds himself caught in a deadly trap where one person dies every 20 minutes. So why was this plane hijacked? And how did the air marshal himself get involved in it? To find out everything, you'll have to watch the whole video. We're talking about the incredible 2014 adventure movie, Non-Stop. So without further delay, let's start today's movie explanation. The movie kicks off with a scene at an airport in New York City. U.S. Air Marshal Bill Marks arrives at the airport to catch a flight from New York to London. But from the very beginning, he seems worried and distracted. Even when various people try to strike up a conversation with him, he ignores them all and walks away. Also, someone was repeatedly calling him, trying to find something out. Marks completes all the immigration processes and finally boards the plane. Then a woman comes and asks the person in the seat next to him to switch. When the man agrees, the woman, named Jen Summers, sits in the window seat next to Marks. Marks and Summers gradually get to know each other. Meanwhile, the plane takes off and soars into the sky. The flight attendants also start bringing drinks and snacks for everyone, meaning everything inside the plane was running smoothly. However, after a while, when Summers falls asleep, Marks gets up and goes to the lavatory. Although smoking is strictly forbidden on the plane, Marks dodges the security camera and smokes there. Afterward, when he returns to the cabin, he receives another message. Air marshals have devices that allow them to exchange messages only among themselves, but the person on the other end of the message identifies himself as a passenger. Then that person says something that makes Marks's eyes widen in shock. The person threatens him that if Marks doesn't transfer $150 million to his bank account, he will kill a passenger on the plane within the next 20 minutes. Now we understand why Marks had been so worried since boarding the plane. After boarding, he had suddenly received security-related information just like this, but he couldn't figure out what was actually going to happen on this plane. Now the matter is completely clear to him. But he doesn't say anything to anyone and suddenly goes to his other partner on the plane, Jack Hammond, because at first he had assumed that Jack was probably sending these messages from their encrypted phone to play a prank on him. Basically, the U.S. Air Force sends 2 air marshals on their high-security commercial flights for security checks, and on this plane, Marks and Jack were in charge. After Marks tells Jack about the matter, Jack says that he wasn't playing any prank on him. This means the threat is now very real. Marks immediately wants to see the captain, but Jack tries to stop him, because he felt that killing someone on such a secure plane while evading everyone's eyes was completely impossible. In other words, he was trying to say that someone was just messing with him. But Marks still goes to the cockpit to talk to the pilots. After informing the captain tells him to contact the TSA, or Transportation Security Administration, and trace an account number. Marks gets permission from him to view all the live CCTV footage of the plane. Then, Marks, along with flight attendant Nancy, starts checking the camera footage in the CCTV room. But there, he realizes that he needs one more person to check the footage. Nancy then suggests calling another flight attendant, but Marks brings Summers, who was sitting next to him, because since getting to know her on the plane, he felt she was a very good person. Summers couldn't understand any of this, but Marks briefly explains everything to her and tells her to keep an eye on the CCTV footage. Actually, his plan was to message the person who made the threat so that they would reply. And while the person is replying, Nancy and Summers would note down the seat numbers of the passengers using their phones from the CCTV. This way, they would be able to search those people and find the culprit.